Hey everybody, it's Jeffrey from Playbill, and I'm here with, the duo of the moment right now, Auliʻi and Adam. How are you guys?
We're very good.
We're happy, we're excited.
I know you both are theater kids at heart, so it's no surprise that you guys are finally coming to Broadway, and I say finally like hardcore, but what is this like? I mean, you guys have been in rehearsals, getting ready, but now we're getting closer and closer to the day of. How are you both feeling?
I'm nervous. Theater feels like the final boss. If I started singing and then voiceover work and then on-camera work, theater feels like the amalgamation of all the difficult things of projecting my voice to the back of the room, but also what do I do with my hands and what does my posture reveal about my character? Like all of these thoughts that truly I have to do my homework, and then once I get on that stage opening night on the 16th, I have to let it all go. So I'm excited to be challenging myself in this way.
Yeah. For you, Adam?
I'm excited to get back to theater.
Yeah.
You know, this was the trajectory I was on. My childhood dream was to do Broadway. I think the closest thing I came to it was rehearsing for the first national of Wicked here in New York, 42nd Street Studios. But that was like almost 20 years ago. So I took the fork in the road and been doing the pop music thing, which I will still continue to do. But this is like childhood dream. I love it. And I've always loved this show. This is a part that's been on a short list for me because he's weird and wild. And I'm enjoying, being a sleazy little German horn dog, with pencil thin eyebrows and lipstick. And it kind of all just fits what I love.
Oh yeah, talk about not only is this an iconic show, so much history, but then this production is like taking it to a whole other level. So what was it about this production that interested you both?
Ooh, I was really excited to be working with Rebecca Fracknell. I feel it's so special to have a woman directing this. It really does feel like it is Cliff absolutely narrating this, but Sally is the one who takes you on the emotional journey, whether you're ready for it or not, of starting off where she is the headliner of this club and Don't Tell Mama she is larger than life. And by the time we get to Cabaret, that number is she's stripped of her makeup, she's in an oversized men's suit, and she's holding on for dear life before she plummets truly into madness. I can't wait to play that.
And for you, Adam?
I get a French loaf taken out of my ass at one point.
Dreams.
Who doesn't want that? I just think it's the first act is so silly and it's fun and it's naughty and it's all about provoking and pushing the audience's buttons and bringing them along for the ride. I love doing that. I love welcoming them with Willkommen. It's a great opening number. And what I love about this piece and this production is that by the time we get into the second act, we're really confronting the audience with some really heavy themes. We've brought them along, and then we're going, hey, what would you do if you were in this situation? And the irony is that the U.S. right now has a lot of political, social things going on that reflect this piece. We're talking about anti-Semitism and fascism and misogyny and propaganda and all these things that we are dealing with in a very real way right now, and it's very real. And so I think it's an amazing piece of theater where you're gonna leave humming these amazing songs, but hopefully you walk out the door and it makes you think.
Yeah.
And you go, could this happen again?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, what has this rehearsal process been like? And as like a theater kid myself, how do you rehearse being on a turntable when you're not on a turntable?
A great question. There is no turntable in rehearsals. We walk around very slowly trying to figure out what that timing might be like. And it is so special that our theater is, in fact, in a round. We also have tables so very near to the stage that's what also makes it immersive. There is no up or down stage. We do some back acting. It's very also natural. And the rehearsal process has been really interesting for me because I felt like I was nailing it in the room, okay? And then I came to the theater and I'm so confused.
Which way?
Literally. But that's the great thing about having such a fantastic team with us. We have multiple stage managers. The cast and crew also is so warm and inviting. We have different gender identities. We have people who just evoke the feeling of what this musical really means, which is inclusiveness and diversity. And so I am not afraid to ask questions and ask for a hug, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this cast that you also are working with. You have a RuPaul Drag Race alum, you have a Tony winner, you have other, what is it like to join this cast as well and getting to know them as well so far?
I walked in to do like an orientation on stage, and we met the cast that we were working with for these rehearsals, and Bebe Neuwirth is standing there, and I'm just like, that is so, she's so legendary, and she's so lovely, and you just look at her resume and you're like, you've done everything. And I remember like growing up watching her on Cheers, you know, I mean, it's like, she's an absolute icon. So that's been kind of amazing.
Yeah. And there's no ego, you know, and that's something, this is my first touch of Broadway, and coming from film world, there can be ego, but not here. You leave that at the door and you just come in and work. And I appreciate it so much. I also think that's just New York energy.
Yeah, for sure.
I like New York.
I like New York too. You know, one of the things that I was rewinding back in my head back when I was going to be doing theater in my 20s, in the early 2000s, I was doing a lot of theater in LA, which sounds like an oxymoron, but it does exist. Yeah. But you know, the theater that I did, I actually encountered a lot of like homophobia and sort of like the expectation to like butch it up and to conform and to not look that way. Don't come to rehearsal with nail polish on, all weird stuff. And what I love about this production and being in 2024 is that you're right. It's so inclusive. It's so comfortable. It's a safe environment. Yeah. There's all sorts of people represented in this production, both on stage and off, and it just feels like it's a new era. Yeah. And I'm really glad to be back in theater during this time. Yeah. When there's a lot more freedom of expression.
Well, you guys both have mentioned it, that you've worked obviously in film, television, the pop world, and so there are going to be a lot of people, because let me tell you, I think the collective gay gasp that happened when you both were announced, there are going to be so many people coming to see you obviously in this, but it's going to be possibly their first time seeing a Broadway show, possibly first time seeing theater. Yeah. What does that mean to because of you, people might be introduced to this medium, which I know you both love so much?
Our demographic is very different. I will be bringing in the girly pops and a young crowd, I suspect.
Some Moana stands. Some Moana stands, for sure.
But it's also such a joy to be playing a character like this, especially juxtaposed. Moana 2 comes out on the 27th, and I am so grateful to be playing a role that challenges me in this way, that is an adult woman. I have been fighting for my life to get out of high school roles in TV and film. So I'm stoked to be playing a character like this.
And what does it mean to you to be bringing in this type of audience to theater for the first time?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think you know, it's a really cool piece, because even though it's a revival and it's a piece of theater that's been around for a very long time, in many ways we're bringing a lot of new energy to it, and very young energy. So hopefully it's like a show that a young person who's, you know, a slightly alternative maybe can bring their grandma to. You know, it feels like it kind of holds space for everybody, which is very cool. And hopefully we provoke them a little bit. I want to push some buttons out. You know, my Emcee, he's so horny. You know, he's a little bit naughty. Right. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for
speaking with me. You hear me out there? Come to the cabaret.
Always like this.
Always like this. Thank you both so much. Guys, if you want to see Auliʻi and Adam, they start on the 16th, and then come on down to the August Wilson or the Kit Kat Club to see both of them. Thank you both so much for speaking with me today.
Yeah, life is beautiful. Yeah.